and decided to bat. As you say, welcome to Ali de Bellat. You like the decision?
Well, the other teams that batted first did extremely well today.
Runs on the board, right?
Runs on the board. So, suspect they following that pattern.
Here is Silveria, moves in to bowl once more to Edward, who to this delivery is getting a wide delivery down the leg side. So Windwards off the mark, they're one without loss.
And it is ironic that the two teams at the bottom of the table are playing the last game.
Sure is ironic. Searching for a win, somebody's going to end up winless though.
Yeah.
Here once more is Silveria, moves in now to bowl to Edward, who is getting a delivery down the leg side again, wide, not controlled there by Silveria. Just losing his radar there.
He's literally bowling straight the way he's running up.
Right.
He did not seem to be slanting the ball in to the right hander, because he's left hander and he's bowling over the wicket, but he's bowling pretty wide of the umpire, and
that would suit more a left-handed batsman facing up.
Right, it will be some good deliveries to the left hander.
Silveria to bowl to Edwards. That was a much better delivery. Swung a bit in the air and came down on it, pushed it out to forward square leg. So 2 without loss, 2 extras so far, both of them wides. As the Windward Islands winning the toss and batting, they've opened with Theo Edward and Jordan Charles. They would want to put points on the table, but Silveria would be trying to push them back. He's in, both to Edwards, who gets a good delivery again, one that comes back, not pronounced, but just slightly. And he is equal to the task, is Edward. Pushes it back along the turf for the bowler to pick up on his follow through.
I don't know if you notice also, Pastor, he has gone much closer to the stumps now than the two deliveries that was wide. He's lining up much straighter and he's bowling on the stumps.
Here he is again, kicking up his heels now, bowls to Edwards, who is looking to open the face of the bat and does so. Glides the ball back square on the offside, and there is no run. So Windward Islands 2 without loss, both batsmen yet to score. Well, only Theo Edwards has faced so far. Jordan Charles at the non-striker's end looks on as Adrian Silveira moves in to bowl to Edward, who is opening the face of the bat and glides that just in front of square on the offside. Good diving stop there by the fielder coming in from just behind square on the offside. No chance of a single. So again, repeat, this is the final match of the tournament. Both teams winless in the tournament. Maybe even more so, quite surprising for Jamaica. Again, he's in, Silveira, and bowls to Edwards, who is in defence, turns the ball up on the outside. Well bowled. So the last 4 deliveries were well bowled there by Silveira. The overs come to an end, and after the end of 1 over, the Windward Islands win the toss and batting. They're 2 without loss.
Good over from the opening bowler from Jamaica. He has bowled pretty well in the tournament. He's a left-handed bowler that swing the ball quite a bit, Sylvan. He does get a bit of an inward movement to the right-hander, and it's always a pleasant sight to see these young, could be 14 years of age, already swinging the ball.
That's very good though. Good learning ground, good learning experience for them. So Jordan Charles would be facing up to today Noyan, who's going to be bowling from the far end in probably the best conditions we've had for the day. Really brilliant sunshine and overhead clouds. Certainly not cumulus or cumulonimbus. And delivery wide outside the off stump. I'm sure that Bushy Williams might be listening somewhere about and would be asking me, Stevenson, are you sure you got the
right type of
right
clothes to the name?
Here is Noyan. Both the Charles expansive drive outside the house. I'll give you a story about Wayne Williams, who there was a year I was doing cricket commentary, and I said that the environment was slightly overcast, and he chided me for that and said, "Come on, Stevenson, you know you cannot say that. It's either it's overcast or it's not." Here's a delivery that is tucked down to backward square, and that's going to go all the way to the boundary for 4. That was a short delivery, wanting to be punished, sat up nicely, and Jordan Charles just swiveled onto the back foot and pulled it in front of square to the boundary for 4. But every now and again, Wayne Williams will call me and correct me and chide me for not getting my geographical terms right. But all in good spirits, you know. It's Noyan again in, bowls off the back foot, pulls at you, make wicket. I don't think it's going to go all the way this time. Going to be pulled back just inside, but yields 2. So 2 deliveries short, both of them pulled, one in front of square, which was the latter, and the former was pulled just maybe behind square, got 4. So he is now moved on to 6, Jordan Charles. 2 aggressive shot, 2 pull shots. Total has gone to 9 without loss. As he is in once more. So that deep mid wicket is plugged now. Here is Noyan in to bowl to Charles. Pretty longish approach, and bowls. He's off the back foot and pulls this one well. This is going to go into the boundary, and that's 4 runs. Now that was a lovely shot, rocked onto the back foot. Again, it was short, and Charles pulled it this time through mid-wicket, straight-ish mid-wicket, and went down to the boundary for 4. So he is really, on the move here. He struck 2 4s already. He's gone to double figures. He's gone to 10, and it's 13 without loss.
Well, the captain would be disappointed because he has 5 men on the offside, and the last couple of deliveries is on the leg stump.
Yes, Noyan, who is hitting that back past the bowler. Didn't cue it very, very well, but would get a single. I just wondered why he was maybe trying to be too aggressive. He already got quite a bit in the over. And those are some of the little things you want to be careful about. Don't get too greedy. 14 without loss.
And he tried to go onto the onside again, and that one was more towards the middle and off, and took probably a leading edge, and was fortunate. He just fell just behind the umpire, but of course the bowler in his follow through didn't have much of a time.
So here is Noyan to bowl to Edward. Edwards gets a very low delivery that he had to come forward and very heavy on, and maybe just managed to push it out. So 2 overs gone, and at the end of 2, the Windwards thereafter rousing start. They're 14 without loss.
Yeah, good over for the Windwards. 12 runs coming off that opening over from Neon. One of the shorter fast bowlers we see in the tournament. Straight a bit on about leg stump, and he was dealt with. So a good start for the Windward, and as we keep saying, it's one that with both teams there in the seller position without a win, both teams would be doing desperately to try to get a win in this game.
So we're back with Silveria, and he's moving into bowl to Charles. This is over number 3 in progress, starting from just inside the circle. It's got a lovely approach though. Bowls outside the off stump, looking to drive, did not get to the pitch of the ball. Again, guilty as so many of the other young players who not using the right or left pad according to their handedness to get closer to the ball. Many of them have been seeking to drive with the bat not close to the body. and resulted with them missing it. 14 without loss. Charles is 11, but there's no question about his pullability. He's pulled 3 deliveries into the onside. Here is a delivery outside the off stump and collected behind the stumps by Nelson. Just looking at the Adrian Silveria's approach, and I kind of liken him slightly to the Rawalpindi Express from Pakistan. Just the way he carries his arms as he approaches, and he's just outside the circle into delivery that is pitched outside the off stump and looking to pull. I just silently checked the amount of footsteps, strides that he makes before he gets to the wicket, and that's long because he makes 20 strides in. Yeah. And once you get up to 17, 18, 16, that's kind of long. And in fact, if you're just inside the circle, here he is once more, is Silveria moving into Charles. He's there now and bowls. He's getting one to swing, peels off the outer portion of the bat. They've gone for one. They're not going to come back for the second. There was a thought about it for a fleeting moment by Charles, but was sent back maybe astutely by Edward. Edward is not yet to score and won't want to be dismissed without scoring. It's going to be taking strike. Edwards has faced 7 balls so far. Here once more, Silveria. He doesn't like that. I can tell you that. The umpire's hand was extended. You don't want to almost be almost close, well, very close to, your, way into your delivery stride and has to be sent back by the umpire. Here once more is Silveria. Moves in to bowl to Edward, who is coming forward, turns it up on the onside. You can see a bit of inward movement of swing, not pronounced but sufficient to pick up. Turned out in front of square on the leg side. Total remains on 15 without loss. Edwards yet to score. Charles 12, so he's done the bulk of the scoring. His 12 runs have come off 9 deliveries. The run rate now 5.29. So this is a good start by the Windward Islands, as it's once more Silveria with a nice approach in now and bowls, and is down the leg side, gets inside the line, wide signal by the umpire. You like his approach, Ali?
Yeah, nice smooth run to the wicket, good rhythm, good speed, and he starts from a point of nearly 30 yards on the middle of the pitch because he's on the edge of the 30-yard circle. But it's a nice run-up, nice fluent, one of the bigger players in the tournament.
Yes, he's not all over the place. He is smooth. Yeah, a few stuttering steps and beautiful approach to the wicket. He's there now and bowls and wrapped him on the pad. There was the beautiful leg before, not with any great sense of conviction there by the bowler, stifled, supported by the cast of infielders, but with no great conviction either. The over comes to an end, so 3 overs gone, 16 without loss, extras of 4, and they're going at 5.33.
Yeah, not a bad start for the Windward. 16 runs in the first 3 overs. But that leg before appeal, one of the things about Sylvan is that he gets that ball to swing into the right-hander. And so you'll need to pitch probably just about off or thereabout to really have a good chance at leg before. Pitching on the leg stump, I think the umpire will always rule that it's going down.
Yes, that's correct. So get it on the off stump and give it a little bit of chance to swing, and the leg before could come into play more. In bowls, driven up nicely to mid-off. They go through for a very quick single. They get it. So Charles has now pushed on to 13, and the total has gone to 17 without loss. So Edwards, who is yet to score, he has faced 9 balls, now comes into strike. A third man is there for him, backward point, conventional cover, extra cover, mid-off and mid-on, both of which are just inside the circle. Mid-wicket is straight and short. There is a square leg and a long leg right back. Here is a delivery that is turned down to long leg. We'll wait to see whether he got a nick onto that. And that's Edward. It's ruled a single by the umpire. The fact that he did not signal, beg your pardon.
Signal.
So 1 to Edwards. It's now gone on to 1. It's just off the mark. Total has moved on now to 18 without loss. Brings the left-handed Charles into strike. Moore again moves in over the wicket and bowls, and there's a people like before. The ball hits him on the pad and goes out on the onside, out on the offside, just behind square, as the bowler in Moore just appealing, screaming at the umpire, who remained as constant as the Northern Star, deciding that that was not going to be given out. Total remains on 18 without
I
loss.
think it was outside the leg stump from this advantage point. You can see the stumps inside of him.
Here again it's Moore to bowl to Charles. He's bowling now and he's driving that down the ground. Runs here for him. This is going to go all the way. Does so over the boundary line. That was a nice shot. Came forward. It was pitched up. And he got to the pitch of it and drove it sweetly. He didn't try to hit it too hard. But the timing was superb, and it raced past the bowler on his follow through, and when that went down to the boundary for 4. So Charles continues to motor on. He's on to 17, and the total has moved on quite impressively for the Windward Islands. It's 22 without loss.
And that's a straight drive, because the umpire actually had to get out of the way. Pretty straight.
Here is Moore to Charles. And Charles is looking to swing that out on the onside. They thought about a single, and then the throw by the keeper went out on the offside, backed up. There's a strong cordon there. Dot ball over number 4 in progress. 22 without loss. Edward 1. Jordan Charles done the bulk of the scoring. He's on 17. Struck a couple of boundaries so far, 3 of them, as it's once more moving in to bowl to Charles. Charles is looking to give himself room and hit that to the offside. Rather, maybe should have gone inside the line and tried to clip that, maybe through mid-wicket, or tickle it even finer. He did neither of that. Over comes to an end. 4 overs gone, 22 without loss. The Windward Islands.
Yeah, Charles continued to score well at 17, but Edwards is just on 1, and of course it's just a matter of 16 overs. He will have to start motoring on as Charles and really put the pressure on to the Jamaicans. As we see now that spin is being introduced. No, I think they have switched. I think they switch in. I think
no, Littleton is in fact brought into the attack. Yeah, from the northern dab wind in really lovely sunshine, and he's going to move in now to bowl to Edward. Here is Littleton in now and bowls to Edward. Slinging action, turned up on the onside, and there is no run. Ali would have loved to have a beautiful condition like this to play on back in your days, with a ground that drains and dries so very quickly indeed.
Oh yes.
Here is a delivery that is short outside the off stump, hit down to the cover area, backward point, catch taken. Oh, that was a nothing shot by Edwards. He was onto the back foot, and maybe half-heartedly, one wondered why he didn't have a full-blooded cut at that one. Just pushed the bat out, and the catch taken at backward point. So the Windwards have lost their first wicket, because Theo Edwards might well have been a bit frustrated not being able to score. So he goes Scott of the bowling of Littleton for 1, and the Windward Islands now 22 for 1 as he goes back disconsolately to the pavilion.
I think it seems as if he was really trying to pull the ball, and the ball was not where he wanted it. It was a bit outside also. He sort of stopped in the shot, and the ball came off the middle of the bat, but not with any power, and lobbed to the man at backward point, who took a very simple catch. And a good wicket for the Jamaicans of 22 for 1. Charles Edwards, I suspect he really was trying to probably motor on a bit, because he only got to 1, and he has been there for some time.
Yes, the new batsman is Jonathan Daniel, who was coming to replace Theo Edward. And Littleton taking up. A prize wicket of Edwards as he moves in to bowl to Daniel. Daniel gets a full delivery that he comes down heavily on and pushes the ball out to short mid-wicket. There is no run. So Littleton, who is a little on the shorter side, but you can see that he enjoys his bowling, has a slingy action. Nothing like a Fidel Edwards, that is rather pronounced, or Malinga. But there is a bit of sling. He moves in now and bowls to Daniel. Daniel has a big swish at that one, does not make contact. And Nelson behind the stumps didn't collect cleanly, but it didn't cause any harm. The ball just dribbled behind him, just partially stopped it. Had to retrieve with a little difficulty. Daniel yet to score. Windwards, the run rate just fallen back to 4.71, 22 for 1, moves in to bowl to Daniel outside the off stump. Littleton and collected by the stumps by Nelson. Queen's Park, rich with history. First one-day international played here back in April 1983 between India and the West Indies, one that the West Indies won quite easily. Here's Littleton once more in bowls, outside the off stump, driven behind square on the offside. The runs here, they've gone for 1, will come back for the second. Well played by Daniel, just coming forward and opening the face of the bat, and glided it behind square. So he's off the mark, he's gone to 2. And the total has pushed on to 24 for 1. Ali, did you attend that match? West Indies versus India.
Clive Lloyd.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I was in charge of the dressing room.
You were?
Yeah.
It was a big crowd, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Clive Lloyd and the big names. That time I was still playing cricket, so
Jeff
they put a
Toujon.
few of us to be in charge of the dressing room. I suspect to meet with the different big name cricketers at the time.
Yes, Clive Lloyd and Viv Richards, Desi Haynes, Jeff Toujon, all of these being part. And it was a vexatious year for the West Indies, having lost the World Cup to India.
Yeah.
And was something of a revenge. So here is Kapil Dev was the captain of the team back then. He moves in and bowls, and that is hitting him in the... Did he hit him south of the border?
It could be on the thigh. Yeah. You would not have been standing.
No, okay, so... It's not. It's a delicate area that I'm referring to. Those of you who might have just heard me say hits south of the border, but it's more inside the thigh. It would look like, right?
It's a sort of stinging blow you get there.
Yeah. If you are a cricketer, you can expect to get those blows inside the thigh, and that's a fleshy area. Good to see some of the Jamaican players
showing where just behind the knee, just above and behind the knee.
Yes. Well, I think it's much safer if he's hit there rather than if he was hit in the more delicate area of the anatomy. Yeah. I tell you, this is a sport. Prepare to get pain if you're going to play this game of cricket. The ball is 5.5 ounces.
And it's not soft.
It's not soft and coated by leather. And sometimes you can have deliveries coming down at 18, 90 miles per hour at you.
I don't know what people like Ray Griffith and Piano would have bowled at, but I could tell you, if it wasn't 90, it wasn't that far.
I tell you, there was only one time in my cricketing experience that I was very delighted when I was dismissed. Ali has a little giggle, mischievous smile on his face because he he remembers it. So I'll try to see if I can relive it. 24 for 1, as Charles will be facing up to Moore. Here he is and bowls to Moore. Moore is driving the ball up to mid-off and won't score. So it was back in our school days. They will get a single now by a bad return from the fielder there at mid-off. And Piano and Ray Griffith was operating from the southern end. He had a magnificent approach to the wicket. And the Grenada Boys Secondary School had lost 2 wickets. I came in at number 4. And it was a juicy pitch, trust me. And I don't know, I think just the fact that Ray Griffith was bowling to schoolboys, I don't know if it angered him. I really don't know. I'll tell you more about it. Here is Moore in now to bowl to Daniel, who is rather on the pad, maybe just too high. Stifled appeal by the bowler. Total remains on 25 for 1. So I was comprehensively bowled by a ball that, quite frankly, I did not see. I heard leather against wood, and that's when I knew. I didn't look back. I knew the only song that could be is that the stump was violently knocked back. Going back to the pavilion, I looked back and I saw that it was a leg stump. I couldn't tell you where the ball passed, quite frankly, and I'm not exaggerating. I didn't see it at all. Here he is more to Daniel. Well, he has to go all the way back. But I think the highlight of that game was a gentleman called Anthony Dixon, and I batted with him. And Dixon scored a half century. I hadn't seen anything like that before. Here is Moore in and bowls, and the ball is hit up to extra cover. So Anthony Dixon was struck on the rib, and Ali de Bella was feeling somewhere around mid-wicket, short in, because he was the captain of the team, I think, at the time. And Dixon fell down. He was spitting blood, and the rest of the teammates were imploring Ali de Bella to run out Dixon, who was out of his crease. And that was great sportsmanship. De Bella decided that he wouldn't do it. Down the leg side, wide, confirmed by the umpire. So far, Ali, can you remember what I said? Were they correct?
Yes, so far, yeah.
Why didn't you run out Tony Dixon?
And then came back and scored.
Came back from the hospital with his left side well bonded, fractured rib, told by the headmaster George Maguire that he should take no further part in the game. I'm gonna finish the story. Here's a delivery that is it's looking to hike that over mid-on, doesn't make contact, the ball goes out on the offside. Total remains on 26 for. So when he did come back, he did hit Ray Griffith for 3 consecutive boundaries through extra cover. I mean, I just couldn't understand that. And he was wincing in pain, scored a half century, and later on, after the match, he was to sing in the GBSS Calypso finals, and he won the competition. Here is a delivery that he's looking to drive, doesn't make contact, and the keeper collects behind the stumps.
Well, added to that, the guys were saying that he was doing a lot of strange movements on the stage, and they were thinking it was dance, not realizing it was pain.
Yes, I didn't see. Quite frankly, I didn't see the competition, but sang the night. And we're told that in his rendition, he kept holding that left area when, of course, he had to sing. And, of course, the singing impact did cause more pain. And that, they told me, must have impressed the judges, because I don't know Tony Dixon to have the sweetest voice in the world, but he won the Calypso tournament that year. Interesting that. There are all sorts of stories when you come to the game of cricket. 26 for 1, Windward Islands. Charles facing up to Littleton, who is driving the ball out to extra cover. Fine shot. That's a really lovely shot. And it's going to go all the way to the boundary for 4. That probably's got to be one of the shots of the day. Didn't look to bang it through the covers, but just a beautiful time pitch, drive rather, and it went through the covers for 4. He's now gone on to 22. Looks very good. Total has gone to 30 for 1.
Yeah, he's playing a pretty good innings today. That one was pitched up just outside the house. He just lifted it over the infield with real ease and proper timing, and it went along the boundary to 4.
Littleton is in again and bowls, and that one, he's off the back foot, pushes it down to long on, will get a comfortable single, brings up his 23rd beg your pardon, and the total has gone by 1 now to 31 for 1. They're scoring at 4.89, the Windward Islands. Just the 1 wicket has fallen, so they've built a pretty decent platform here. Now they've got to put their feet on the pedal. Charles, that's Daniel rather, bowled him. Oh, it's been a little while since I've seen a stump plucked out of the ground so violently. It's a pleasing sight for the fast bowler. I was looking to drive head in the air, and it seemed to be, was it the leg stump? I don't know which one went cartwheeling, but quite frankly, it was spectacularly bowled. Let's look at it. There's the sling in action. Yeah. Looking to off stump gone. It's one of the most pleasing sight by any bowler. And so our wicket has just gone. So Littleton's picked up 2 now. Is that the second wicket he has taken? Yes.
The
2 for 7.
One. Yeah, caught at backward point. But that shot, it was a ball on his off stump, and he started to play as if he was going to hit it on the offside, and then change or whatever to try to hit it on the onside, and so the ball found the gap between bat and pad and took the off stump out of the ground.
Yeah, so he's got this Littleton, this slinging action, and that's the thing. When you're a slinger, you can't release the ball too quickly. You've got to release it just at the right time. If you release it too quickly, it's going to go down the leg side.
Too late. It might find itself all in gully.
Yes, you're right. Yes, Littleton in now and bowls to Fontaine, who pushes the ball up to mid-off, and there is no run. Yes, so that's why it's very difficult, and the slingers in Fidel Edwards, Jeff Lawson slung a bit. Malinga also. Littleton in now and bowls outside the off stump. Half-hearted effort to cut that.
It seems that he got an edge.
You think it did?
Yeah. And
might have gotten an edge.
Yeah.
Wonder if we can get a replay here. Did it carry to Nelson? Let's see. And I know Richie has been doing such a great job in trying to pick up those little replays. Yes. So let's see. Did he get a nick?
Yeah.
Might have. And it carried.
Yeah,
it carried.
Through the gloves.
Here is Littleton in bowls, comes forward, opens the face of the bat, will get a single, and might come back for the second run too, although they started a bit lazy. The return comes in and just managed to get there. So 2 runs to Fontaine, who is now off the mark, and the total has gone out to 33 for 2. So Nelson, the over coming to an end. So 7 overs gone. So Nelson not accepting. But it was low, but it's a kind of catch that you'll take, Ali.
Yeah, and he has been keeping pretty okay. but I think it's him that we notice probably keeps better to the spin than to the pace, and that one tipping a bit, but really got into the gloves, and good keepers will hold on. Again, he's young, he's short, so a very short keeper he is, really.
Yes, there's always the question as to the keepers who are on the shorter side, as to whether they're better suited for the game. We have a little discussion on that. Here is a delivery that is badly lined on the leg side by Mackenzie. White signal by the umpire. But if you go to keepers around the globe, past and present, you think about Derek Murray, David Murray. If we're looking at West Indian keepers, they were not tall keepers. David Williams, maybe the two tallest of the lot. It's got to be Junior Murray and Jeff Dujon. Mike Finley also, from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Here's a delivery that is pushed back along the track. And the Englishmen, they've had keepers like Alan Knott. Alex Stewart, who kept a little later on in his career too. He was not necessarily short, average height, outside the off stump. Hit down to a backward point. They've got to hurry. And if this had a direct hit, he may have been out. He was struggling to get home. One more to the total. Rod Marsh rather, from Australia, wasn't a tall keeper.
I think
they tell you.
David Murray would have been the shortest of the lot.
Yeah, David was short. I think it has a lot to do with gravity, and they're known to be better at spinners, keeping to the spinners. Delivery that is pushed up to long off, and they'll get a comfortable single. So don't forget that Clyde Walcott also kept for the West Indies back in the 1950s. But he was a big man. He didn't seem to be the typical keeper. Here's a delivery that brings the batsman forward. That's Charles advancing down the track, pushes the ball down to long off. Long off will get a single. He's moved on to 25, and the total has moved on to 37 for 2. In the region, the sub-region, Ignatius Cadet, who you played against, a delivery that is pushed up to long off, and there is a single.
Yeah, one of my really good pals. So Ignatius Cadet.
You haven't seen him in quite a while, have you?
He's there. He lives in the countryside of St. Lucia. The last time I was there, someone went and brought him down to see me.
Oh, must have been good reunion.
Yeah, same Cadet.
Yeah,
same
Ignatius. I haven't seen him in years, so Ignatius, if you're listening to us, well, good afternoon to you. And we are just reminiscing and applauding you for being one of the outstanding keepers in the Windward Islands. And the Windward Islands have been graced with a number of very good keepers.
Cadet, Walsh, well, of course Finley, the Cadet, Walsh, Murray, all 4 from different islands.
Yes, all who have served, in fact, with great distinction. Uza Pope, who also played for the Windward Islands and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, was effective behind the stumps, left-hander. And Coast Guyana, the one that would stand out quite well back in the 1970s and 80s, Milton Paidana. Can't miss that name at all. Here is Gray. In and bowls off the back foot. Plays the ball up to short mid-wicket is Fontaine, and there is no run. We did talk about Herbert Chang for Jamaica. And Jeff Dujon. It was once more Gray in and bowls. Fontaine is off the back foot and cuts the ball out to cover, and there is no run. Courtney Brown and David Murray, maybe 2 of the more outstanding ones for Barbados. Here's a delivery that is driven up to long off, will get a single, just a 1 run as the fielder comes off the boundary. That's Just trying to get the fielder there, but they got one. That's Noyan, I think it is. Here is Gray in and bowls to Charles. Charles is off the back foot and opens the face of the bat. Glides the dunk to short extra cover. And there is no run. If you go to the Leeward Islands and you think of Ridley Jacob, who went on to play for the West Indies back there in the 90s, delivery that is hit down to the mid-wicket area, and that's going to go all the way for 6. All the way for 6. As Noyan was down there, and it was going to be touch and go, and maybe if he were a taller cricketer, might have been able just maybe to catch it and have the frame of mind, as we see particularly in 2020 cricket these days, throw it back up, and but he just pushed it over the bar. Get a chance now to look, and he had to time it right, and it came down, got a hand to it, and went over.
You do good to hold on.
Charles, who's gone to 31, gets one. There's an appeal for leg before. They will go through for the single. Leg by would be signaled by the umpire. Good alert frame of mind there by Fontaine. So one more to extras, which has gone to 7.
And it was his call, and he called quickly, and the batsman responded, and in the end the single was easily taken.
So 9 overs gone, 6 remaining. 46 for 2. So we're just talking a lot about keepers, of course, Trinidad and Tobago. The Murrays, David Murray, Derek Murray. Those are the players of yesteryear. Joshua De Silva, now the current West Indies senior team's wicket-keeper. Here is Mackenzie to bowl to Charles. No over, outside the off stump. Played nicely just behind square on the leg side, on the offside rather. And there is no run.
Windwards are setting a good platform. They could just accelerate at this stage to get up into the 90s.
Yeah, they need to score at 6 now from here on. Here is a delivery that is short, pulled down to the deep mid-wicket position, would get a single. One more to Charles, who's now gone to 32. And the total has moved on to 47 for 2, brings Fontaine into strike. So the partnership now has how many? Last wicket haven't fallen at 31, so it's 16. Got my math right this time. Here is Mackenzie in now and bowls to Fontaine, who is off the back foot, pushes the ball out to cover. And there is no run. Did we miss any of the territories and the keepers? We got through all of them. We just tried to pick out a couple of keepers from the well-known. Here's a delivery that is outside the off stump, makes room and cuts the ball down to cover. Gets a single. One more to Fontaine, who's now gone on to 6, and the total has moved on to 48 for 2. Field changing around. This is the left-handed Jordan Charles, who's batted very well for 32. He struck the ball well. He's hit 4 fours in his innings so far, as Mackenzie moves in to bowl to Charles. There he is, bowls, and Charles is bowled. Big heave, head in the air, never to the pitch of the ball, and the off stump seemed to be interrupted. The bails also spattered, and so he goes for 32. Charles bowled by Mackenzie for 32. And the Windwards, they've lost the 3rd wicket. It's 48 for 3.
Yeah, good looking knock there from Charles. He opened the inning and really lost his shape and his composure there. He was really trying to overhit, literally. He's a small guy, probably looking for another boundary. Had hit a 6 in the previous over. But I think also that they need to push on, and he was the one that has been there from early, so he would have been the main person, and he tried. Good ball on the stumps. You hit. If you miss, I hit. And a good breakthrough there by the Jamaicans. Bye.
Yes. What was your favorite playing ground, Ali?
Dominica. The wicket is like the ground, the ball turns square. I'll give a joke about Lucas Sebastian.
Is that Windsor Park or
Windsor
Botanic
Park?
Garden?
No,
Windsor Park.
Windsor Park. I
Yeah.
played in Botanic Garden, but Windsor Park. Yeah, and I bowled to Sibo, and it was a very short ball, and he hit it, and he got caught, and he said it's the longest long hop that ever out.
Never dismissed him. The new batsman is Alexander. That's Leon Alexander. Faces onto the back foot and pulls that into the mid-wicket area, and that will go into the boundary for 4. Well. That's the first delivery he faced. Onto the back foot. It was short. His eyes lit up. And he hit it well through mid-wicket. The 50 has now been posted. 52 for 3. That was a bold shot.
Yeah, he comes in a really no-nonsense mood. Short ball. It was short, and there wasn't any risk in it, really. He hit it in the vacant position between what would be a square leg on the boundary and a straightish middle wicket. Acres of space there, and he picked the gap and hit it well.
So you did get a lot of spin on the Windsor Park pitch.
Yeah, in all the games I played in Dominica, in one inning or the other, had more than 5 wickets.
Really?
Yeah.
Good hunting ground for you.
Yeah, the ball really did turn big.
Yeah, I played there once, also played in the Botanic Gardens. As here is Mackenzie in and bowls to Fontaine, who is driving the ball and gets it down to the long on area. Is going to go very close to the boundary. Good tumbling save there by the fielder down there. As the return will come in, I think it might well be Silvara there who made sure that it didn't cross the boundary line, and they got 2. So to Fontaine, who's now gone to 8. He's got to take over the scoring here. Total has now gone to 54 for 3. The run rate 5.31. As Gray will move in to bowl to Fontaine. He's there now. Fontaine is driving expansively. Gets it down to the long off area. Will get a comfortable single as Latham comes off the boundary, picks the ball up, sends it back, 1 more to the total. As Alexander now comes back into strike. He's on 4. First delivery that he hit, in fact the only one, yielded 4 runs. Bowls, and that's a hit that goes over the boundary line, and
Wow.
that's a big hit. That's 6. Now this is absolutely unbelievable. The second delivery he has faced, the first one he smacked for 4, and mind you, it was a genuine shot for 4. This one is also genuine. Lifted that straight down the ground, and it went for 6. Great shot by Alexander. Oh, here is Gray in, bowls to Alexander off the back foot, looking to cut, pulls away, maybe giving himself too much room. As Gray pulled that one in length and pushed it a little wider. Gray's in again and bowls to Alexander, who is off the back foot and hits that down to the long off position. Will get a single. Well, you know what? He's come out here not with a pistol. He is with an AK-47, and he's really letting go the bullets. Gray is in and bowls to Fontaine. Fontaine is off the back foot and looking to cart that through the offside. Doesn't make contact. I think Nelson had to jump to take that one. Got maybe hit somewhere in the chest area. The over comes to an end. Productive one there for the Windward Islands. So we had how many runs coming off that? Was it 11? That's right. 62 for 3 and 11 overs gone.
Well, Alexander in a really no-nonsense mood, but that 6 was probably one of the biggest 6s I've seen in the entire tournament. He hit it very close to the dressing room, and
Whoa.
it was a perfect shot. It wasn't like an unorthodox shot, a proper cricket shot. And good to see at least, the guys are coming into their own, and probably show that the preparation period probably wasn't long enough for them. And now they're getting into their own.
Mackenzie to Alexander. Tucked up in defense. Plays it out on the onside. And there is no run. I would like this. I would just love to see some fireworks here. Be interesting. Be fun. You gotta get some fun in your life.
Yeah.
This is the final match. Here once more is Mackenzie, bowls down the track, and he looked rather ungainly with that one. He looked as awkward as a cow on ice. He slipped, sort of fell over. But you could see the intention there by Alexander. He's in an ultra aggressive mood. Here is a delivery that he is driving, hits that down to the long off area. And you know what? He's not afraid to go aerial either. He's gone by 1 to 12. It's a nice cameo here by Leon Alexander. Takes the Windwards to 63. Run rate has gone up to 5.48 as Mackenzie will bowl this time to Fontaine, who is driving. Caught at mid-wicket. Well, didn't get to the pitch of that one and was looking to hit that maybe straighter. The ball probably just turned into him slightly and couldn't clear the infield. So Fontaine goes, caught there at mid-wicket, and he is gone for 9. Seemed to be Gray, and may have taken the catch. Yes, tumbling over, good tumbling catch too. So Fontaine goes, caught Gray up the bowling of Mackenzie for 9, and the Windwards have lost another wicket. It's now 64 for 4 in over number 12.
Yeah, I think he was trying to hit it a bit straighter. It's the off spinner. The ball came into him and he tugged it around and got it to that straightish middle wicket. A good catch by the fielder in middle wicket, and a good wicket to sort of stem the tide a bit. Windward now going at just 5.40. Good platform for the next 3 overs. If they could step up that run rate a bit, they could pitch a challenging score of, as we saw Trinidad did in 80, 90. Would be a very challenging score on this surface.
Aaron Sinclair has now come out. He's going to be facing his first delivery, and he gets onto the back foot and hits that over the mid-wicket area. That's gone for 6. Oh, this is incredible batting here. This is the first ball that he's faced. Unlike Alexander, who struck 4 in his first ball, this time it was short onto the back foot, and the big man hit that over the mid-wicket area, and it sailed over the boundary line, maybe by another good 10 yards, did it? Well, he's off the mark. Here is Sinclair facing up, and he is getting on the edge, I would think. We'll have to see what the umpire would say. Sliding home. Well done there, Alexander. Now signaled by the umpire. Extras, therefore, has moved on by 1 to 8, and the total is pushed on now to 70 for 4. 12 overs gone, so there are 3 remaining, and these 2 would want to go big.
Well, as they show, they have the capability to do it. That's 2 big 6s, and normally you say get your eyes in, but they came with their eyes in. From the word go, they has been hitting good shots. I think it will be an interesting period with the 2 batters in now, who seems to has that ability to attack and play some big shots.
Yeah, put some excitement in the place, in the atmosphere. We could probably end on an exciting note. So Littleton will move in to bowl to Sinclair, and Sinclair is coming forward, turns it up to just to forward square leg, and would get a single. So he's now moved on now to 7, and the total has gone to 71 for 4, brings Alexander into strike. Littleton from the northern Adabo end. He's bowling now. Shot in the air. Somebody's going to take the catch. Would it? No. Drop just inside. Would it go over the boundary line? No. Good work. And they will come back for what would it be? Did they come back for the second run? No, they didn't. No. That went a long way to take just the 1 run. They should have tried to go for the second run. The ball was pulled back by Noyan.
Unless they thought he was going across the boundary.
Maybe. Oh, well, he's gone to 13. Sinclair faces up to Littleton, who to this delivery is hitting that in the air down to the deep mid-wicket area. How far would that go? That's gone for 6. Oh, this is aggressive hitting. 6 runs there by St. Clair. It's gone to 13. Well, that's just looking to see. That's his second 6, is it? Yeah, second 6. Oh, and they're clean hits. I love this. I really love this.
These two batters showing real aggressiveness.
Yeah.
And you wonder, probably it's their last game. They might a little more free, not much pressure, and they're really into their own.
Fireworks in August. Hit in the air. I think that's going to go all the way too. No, it's going to be caught. The catch is taken. Good frame of mind. Silvera down there on the long on boundary. He was looking to clear the ground again. The hit wasn't bad, and he steadied himself very well, went underneath it, took the catch, and so the Windwards have lost another wicket. But you can't fault him there at all, St. Clair, who was looking to go over the boundary line, caught by Silveria of the bowling of Littleton. He's gone for 13, and the Windwards now 78 for 5. I was just beginning to enjoy this more.
Yeah, a good catch, right?
Yes.
The fielder on the boundary, it was slightly over his head, and he really timed it well and take a pretty good catch. But good hit in there by the two Windward batsmen, Sinclair and Alexander. And as you say, the small crowd here would have really like to see a little bit more of it. But you have to credit the Jamaican bowlers. They stick to the task, they pitch it up, and they were rewarded.
Well, it's a good score, 6.16. And that momentum can carry them up to 90 or a little above. They're 78 for 5. The Windwards wouldn't want to get to a rut here. They would want to keep scoring. That's important. Littleton would obviously be thinking different. He has picked up 3 for 17, and he's going to move in now to bowl to Alexander. The batsman did cross while the ball was airborne. He's in, bowls to Alexander, short, and he pulls that over the mid-wicket area, and that's going to go into the boundary for 4. Oh, that was a lovely shot. It was short, rocked onto the back foot, and in this cavalier, rather aggressive mood that Alexander found himself in, hit it clean, went over the mid-wicket head into the boundary for 4. He's gone to 17. The total has rushed on to 82 for 5. Boy, am I enjoying this. Littleton is in again and bowls in defense, pushes it out on the offside. Good sensible batting here by Alexander, gets his 18th run, and I think he was very smart about that, realizing that it was the final delivery in the over.
Yeah, I think you could have seen from the shot that there's a shot to get a single to face the next over. But I think nothing wrong, good planning, because he's the one on the go. He has been scoring runs, 2 overs still to go, 83 for 5. Trinidad got to 90, and Ghana got to 90, and created a real problem for the Trinidadians. I think these type of scores is what you call scoreboard pressure. Yes. And I think the Windwards are doing extremely well.
They are doing very well indeed. At 83 for 5 and 2 overs remaining. So here is Mackenzie's call back, and he is in now and bowls, and that's a hit inside out down to the extra cover boundary, and that's 4 runs. Beautiful. Gave himself a little bit of room, and he freed his arms, slightly got the front part slightly out of the way, and he hit that nicely down to extra cover. He continues to motor on. He's 22 now, Alexander. 14 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6. He's scoring at exactly 200, 87 for 5. As Moore will come in. Will he be hit for more? We don't know. Here is Moore to bowl to Alexander, and Yorker-like delivery.
Good ball.
Well bowled into the leg stump, looking to give himself room. That's the kind of thing you want to see, Ali. Thought going into the bowling and batting, as the case may be.
Yeah, he saw him trying to create some room, and he followed him, and he really tucked him up.
Yeah, nice. Well bowled. 87 for 5. The run rate 6.53 as Moore is in again to bowl to Alexander. Bowls, and Alexander is coming forward. Hits that straight down to mid-off. They're not going to come back for the second. The return comes in quite sagaciously too. Decided against the second run. That would have been danger. And one more to Alexander, who's gone to 23. Lovely innings so far. 88 for 5. LeBron Douglas now comes in to strike. And I'm sure that Alexander would be saying to him, tip, run, give me the strike. Am I right, Ali?
That's what he should do.
Okay.
Yeah.
See if I got it right.
And a lot of space for that.
He's in now on both the Douglas. Outside the off stump, doesn't make contact. And I think Alexander would have said, that's not what I told you to do. Just hit it in front of you, take off. I'll be backing up and let me get to the other end. So, and Douglas may have argued, but it was a little bit on the wider side outside the off stump. Jadair Moore moves in to bowl to Douglas. Douglas is playing that back along the turf. The bowler picks up on his follow through. 2 dot balls. Maybe Alexander is saying, hey, that's ill afforded. Need to get into the 90s. Goes back. Is Moore. And he's going to come in again to bowl to Douglas, who is yet to score. 1 delivery remaining this over. I don't think they will want a single, would they? Here he is now on bowls. And we'll get the single down the fine leg. As Littleton comes off the boundary, sends the return. The umpire would signal. He doesn't signal, does he?
No, but inside
edge onto it. So he's gone off the mark. It's Douglas. 14 overs gone. Just a 1 remaining. 89 for 5. And the 2 batsmen have a bit of a mid-wicket dialogue, deciding what the strategy would be for the final over coming up.
Yeah, but final over, I think we'd have liked to see Alexander getting a lot of the strike, but singling the last ball inadvertently, because he took the edge. I think now the onus is on him to try to. There are a lot of space, particularly on the onside. He can go across and just push it and take the single. We'd like to see what his sense of thought is at this stage. Do you feel he can do it all by himself?
Sonoyan, who knows that he can't do it all by himself, can't. Would move in to bowl to Douglas. Here he is. Bowls to Douglas. Douglas plays it out in front of him. They go through a very quick single. They get it. That was the idea. I know that was the idea. Well, he did it well. Douglas says, you know what? I'm going to give you the strike. He's got to 2. And Alexander, who's on 23, said, thank you so much. Thank you so much, LeBron. You've done well. It's my time now to show what I have. What does he have in his hand there now? Is it a pistol or an AK-47? See which one of them he's going to draw out to use. As Noyan moves in now to bowl to Alexander. Outside the off stump, big swish. Doesn't make contact. The umpire said that that's inside the line.
And it would have been pretty close. A good delivery, because he had to stretch quite a bit to get that one. It was right on the border of that blue line.
Right. So didn't call a wide. 4 legal deliveries remaining. 6.28 is the run rate. As Noyan will move in now to bowl to Alexander. He's there now and bowls. Alexander is hitting that straight to extra cover. He'll be disappointed with that, and they will get a single. So they take it. 1 more to the total. He's gone to 24, is Alexander. The Windwards on the 15, they're motored on to 91 for 5. In the final over here, just 3 legal deliveries to go. The run rate, 6.28. So it's not going to drop under the 6 mark. Yeah. Noyan missed his run up, would have to go all the way back. So I think Jamaica and the Windward Islands would be unhappy with their overall performance in the tournament. But one of them will turn out to be winless, as Noyan would move in to bowl to Douglas. Douglas is edging down to third man. That's going to go into the boundary for 4. Outside the off stump, had a big flash at it, took the outside edge. Keeper couldn't stop it. Third man couldn't get across to his right in time, and it went very quickly to the boundary for 4. He's got to 6, Douglas. Welcome boundary there. And the Windward Islands, they've now moved on to 95 for 5. 2 deliveries to go.
Trinidad was 93. Yeah. Guyana scored 93 this morning. Convincingly beat Trinidad and
they
Tobago.
won. Here's a delivery. Oh, he's missed his run up. That's Noyan. Today in Noyan will go back. So there's a short third man in, backward point. Cover is right back on the circle. Extra cover is about 2/3 inside the circle. Long off, long on. Deep mid wicket. Deep square leg. And a fine leg inside the circle. That's the field for today in Noyan, who would move into bowl to Douglas. Passes the umpire, bowls to Douglas. Douglas is driving back past the bowler. They've hustled for 1. Don't think they're going to come back for the second, as the fielder in Silveria coming across very quickly ensure that the batsmen remained on 1. So 1 more to Douglas, who's now gone to 7, and the total has gone to 96. Can we have a boundary here by Alexander to bring it up to the 100 mark? Of course, Noyan will be having different thoughts. He's in now and bowls, and Alexander has a big swish at that one outside the off stump. Look into the umpires if to say, umps, would you call that a wide? And the umpire says, no, it's not wide enough. And so that completes the over and completes the innings there for the Windward Islands. I think they will be happy with their performance. They scored at 6.40, partnership there of 18, 96 for 5. Douglas not out 7, Alexander not out 24. And just to quickly give you through the scorecard, Edwards, Theo Edwards was bowled by Littleton. He went for 1. Charles caught a bowl by Mackenzie, beg your pardon, for 32, 4 fours and 1 6. Daniel was bowled by Littleton for 2. Fontaine, Cottery, bowled Mackenzie for 9. Alexander not out 24. Aaron Sinclair caught Silvaria of the bowling of Littleton for 13. LeBron Douglas not out 7. 96 for 5. 96 for 5. Extras 8. 1 by 1 leg by 6 wide, and they didn't bowl a no ball, which was quite impressive, I must say. The bowling, we had Silveria, who none for 4 of 2. Noyan none for 19 of 2. Moore none for 14 of 3. Littleton 3 for 22 of 3. Mackenzie 2 for 18 of 3. And Giovanni Gray didn't pick up a wicket, none for 17 of 2. So 96, that's right, 96 for 5. The victory target is going to be 97. See whether the Jamaicans can in fact pull this off. We'll be on hand to bring you the run chase. And welcome back here at the National Cricket Stadium here in St. George's, Grenada, where the Jamaica team will have to fight hard, I would think, to get to that 97 magic total for victory. Don't forget the Windward Island scored 96 for 5. And all is set. I think we're going to get ready to start the innings with Mackenzie and Nelson. I think it is opening. So here is the first ball. Jamaica. Delivery wide outside the off stump. And they're off the mark. So actually it's Binns and Jones that will be, Binns and Jones will be opening the batting. And Tyler Venner will be bowling from the far end. So here's Venner, comes in now to bowl to Binns, who is hitting that in the air, just between the two fielders. Sort of half-hearted shot there, and they got one, but it was not done with conviction at all. The total has moved on to 2 without loss. So 2 deliveries yielding runs. One was the first one was a wide, and the second one was just tugged out on the onside. Got a single. So Jones now comes into strike. Here is Venner to bowl to Jones outside the off stump, opens the face of the bat, glides the ball down to backward point. They get a comfortable single. So 1 more to the total. It's now gone on to 3 without loss. Venner. I think the approach of the Jamaicans would be one of, hey, we've got to win this. So I'd be very surprised if they're not positive in their approach. Venner moves in to bowl to Binns, who is getting a delivery that he pushes out on the offside. Thought about a single, but I think the non-striker in Binns was more interested in the single than Jones was more interested in the single rather than Binns. Taps away at the crease as Venner again from the far end to bowl to Binns, who is leaving that alone outside the off stump. Maybe you say that the judgment was good because that was close. Might have just decided to push at it, and the outside edge could have been taken. Third man, backward point, cover, mid-off. Sorry, that's a short extra cover. Long off is right back, mid-on, mid-wicket, and a square leg inside the circle. The fine leg also inside the circle. Venner moves in to bowl to Binns. Binns is coming forward, pushes the ball up to long off, will get a comfortable single. So he has gone, both batsmen now on 1, 3 without loss. This is going to be the final delivery coming up in this over. Let's see whether Venner could keep this one as tight as possible to end up with a good over. Here he is, moves in now to bowl to Binns, and Binns is coming forward, opens the face of the bat, glides the ball down to just in front of square on the offside. Can't score, so the first over gone, and at the end of 4, Jamaica going after a victory target of 97, therefore without loss.
Jamaica will have to score the highest score for the day. It was the Guyanese with 93 that defeated Trinidad and Tobago, and so now they have to get to 96 to win the game. Not really a slow start, a moderate start. Of course, it's the first over. The both batsmen, not big guys, pushing it around and trying to pick up the singles, trying to set a platform. Probably look around, score reasonable at just about the run rate, which is 4. They will need to keep it at that before launching an attack.
Yes, obviously. So, yes, it's early days. As the left arm seamer will be bowling from this end. It's Glasgow, who hasn't had the best of tournament. I think he's got good talent. Quite frankly, I think so. The very fact that he can move the ball both ways and can move the ball in the air. Let's see what he has to offer. So Glasgow from St. Vincent and the Grenadines would move into bowl to Binns, who is on 2. Jamaica under 15, 4 without loss. We're over number 2. Bowl here by Glasgow. He is in now and bowls to Binns. Binns gets a delivery that is right up and well bowled. Opens the face of the bat and gets it down to third man, gets a single. So 1 more to Binns, who's now gone on to 3. And the total has pushed on to 5 without loss. And show that Jamaica would want to set a good platform. I don't think they would want to get off the mark. Want to get off to a slow start, but they don't want to lose any wickets either. It's not early in the innings. 5 without loss. Jones now into strike. Here is Glasgow in and bowls. Driven up to mid-off. They go for a quick single. They've got to hurry as the return comes into the non-strikers end. There was always going to be a single there. So 1 more.
Good shot and good well field by the fielder at mid-off.
Yes, it went all along the ground, but went rather quickly too. Here is once more Glasgow. Moves in over the wicket and bowls to Binns. Binns is coming forward, pushes the ball back along the turf for the bowler to pick up and his follow through, and there is no run. So you suspect that the Windward Islands going to be very chirpy out there, cheering each other on, as it's once more Glasgow in to bowl to Binns. Binns get a full delivery that I think Binns still looked.
I think he thought it was
Shocked.
too high.
Yes.
The umpire didn't sit there.
Yeah, and he looked up for a long time, rather quizzically, to the umpires. If they say, "Sir, that's above my waist."
Yeah.
Yeah, once more is Glasgow. It's been a good over so far. Moves into bowl to Binns. Outside the off stump. It's inside the line, inside that blue line. And Binns looks on his hands, left hand on the hip. But
He must be wondering what his judgment is, because the first one he thought was too high and this one he thought it was a wide, and neither was called.
yes, here's Glasgow to Binns. Binns is coming forward, pushes the ball out to cover. The over comes to an end, and at the end of the second over, Jamaica under 15 they're 6 without loss. Glasgow just a 1 over for 2 runs, and Tyler Venner 1 over for 4 runs.
Well, surely the Windward Island going through the best period of performance in the entire tournament. First with the bat, and now with the ball. They have been pretty much on target, not allowing the Jamaicans to get away.
Here is Venner moving into Savio Jones, who is getting one outside the stump, confirmed as a wide by the umpire. The first match that the Windward Islands played, they had 53 extras, albeit it was the 50 over game. Whatever the case is, that was just too many. Even if it were a first class game, it was just too many. Moves in again is Venner. Bowls down the leg side. Turned down to backward square, 4 runs. Bad delivery there by Venner onto the back foot, and just swiveled and swung it wrong to the deep backward square boundary. 4 runs to Jones, who has now moved on to 6, and Jamaica under 15, 11 without loss.
Good shot. Short ball going down the leg side, and let's help it on its way. Got some bat onto it. There's no one protecting the boundaries on the onside, and once it got past the infield, was 4.
Venner, the ball to Jones, hits it hard into the ground, and ball taking the bottom portion of the bat, maybe trying to tug that through the onside. Got the bottom portion of the bat. dot ball. Total remains on 11 without loss. So these youngsters should be having a dinner tonight. As he moves in once more is Venner bowls down the leg side, wide confirmed by the umpire, just losing his line here is Venner. Total goes by 1. Extras have now gone up to 3, and Jamaica under 15 they're 12 without loss. Venner again to bowl to Jones. Jones is wrapped on the pad, ball going down the leg side, and the keeper going behind the stumps very quickly, runs across and stopped any opportunity of a single. So still 12 without loss. Here he is once more in bowls, and driven up to the deep backward square area will get a single. Is Jones, who has now gone on to 7, and the total has gone to 13 without loss. Over number 3 in progress brings Binns into strike. So quiet start here. Good start too by Jamaica in response. Outside the off stump, no ball signaled by the umpire. Now that's cardinal error. Overstepping called by the umpire. It's going to be a free hit. Overstepping. Good opportunity to make something productive out of this. Odin Binns, it's all up to you now. Way outside the off stump. Oh, just not, doesn't seem to be in it, Venner. No. Just a body language. Don't know what has happened. But he's certainly not very happy at all.
And not many the free hits have been really capitalized on. You just need to get it in the right area.
Yeah. Venner bowls, and that's it. Through mid-wicket. They've gone for 1. I don't think they're going to come back for the second run. The return comes into the keeper. Not the best return, but it was direct to the keeper, however. And they get 1. So the total has moved on by 1 to 17. It's 16 without loss. Jones now comes into strike. Here he is, facing up to Taylor. And that's another no ball.
It's a no ball and a wide. I mean, it's one you're going to look at, but it was pretty wide. I have to show you something is wrong with him.
Just does not look himself. It's wondering what on earth is the problem. Just seem to amble up and just release the ball with no conviction. Oh, something's got to be wrong there. Yeah, well, let's see. It's moving in again to bowl to Jones. Jones hits that in the air. That's going to go over the mid-wicket area. That's gone all the way for 4. Now, this is really poor cricket. It really is poor cricket indeed. By a bowler who opened the bowling and is just coming up with some gentle medium pacers. Lift that one over the mid-wicket area and then went over the boundary for 4.
I think after he bowled the 2 wide deliveries, it seems as if he was just now trying to bowl the ball on the stumps. He didn't worry about pace, or he just tried concentrating on length and line, and lost his speed and also lost his accuracy.
He's lost everything. Lost composure. Lost confidence. 21 without loss. So the run rate is healthy. It's exactly 7. As here is Glasgow. Driven up to mid-off. Ball pitched up. Coming forward is Binns. And pushed it out to mid-off. Total remains on 21 without loss. Here once more is Glasgow. moving in to bowl to Binns, and Binns gets a short delivery that he lifts down to the mid-wicket area. That's going to go very close to the boundary, and in fact would go over the boundary line now. That's 4 runs. That was a poor delivery there by Glasgow. Shot onto the back foot, he rocked and lifted it handsomely over the forward square leg area. 4 more to the total. Binns has now gone on to 8. The total has gone to 25 without loss.
And a good run rate. They're scoring at 7 runs are over.
Yes. Oh, this is bad. This is really poor. So, I don't know if you remember the good old days when in sporting events, when things were going bad, they used to sing, "Oh dear, what can the matter be?" Here is the delivery. Full toss. That is driven out to extra cover. More runs. Possibly 2. They've gone for 1. Will come back for the second. They won't come for the third. They get 2 comfortably. The return comes in. It's a good one, but productive. 2 more to Savio Jones. Both batsmen now on 11. 28 without loss.
And the Windward have to be careful. They did get some runs on the board, but Jamaica is keeping in touch.
They certainly are. They're going at 8 runs per over. Here he is once more in and bowls outside the arse stump. Driven up to extra cover. They go through for a single. They get it. Yes. The return is not sharp and fast enough. And the Windwards just seem to be unraveling here. 28 without loss. Is it 28 or 29? It's 28. Here's a delivery that is pitched up, hit down to mid-off, and there is no run. So they've bowled badly, the Windward Islands. And that's why the run rate is rather healthy now. 28 without loss. Good opening stand by these two. Both of them are on 11. Outside the arse stump. Opens the face of the bat. Hits that down to the deep extra cover area. They're going to get 2. 2 more to Jones. Good shot. Played the ball on the up. It's gone to 13 is Jones. 30 without loss. 4 overs just completed. They've got 11 more to go, and they've got to score exactly at 6 runs per over to get there. It's still Ali, a pretty high asking, but they're on course to get to the Windwards total.
Particularly, they have the wickets in hand. You notice the Jamaica team tend to have the smaller guys at the front and the bigger ones coming at the back. And if these guys could hold out, then you got some boundary hitters come in. They could find themselves in a pretty good position.
Very much. But they're pretty positive out there. And they're aided by some pretty poor, in some cases, ordinary bowling. Binns taking strike. He's on 11. As Dexter Baines will come in from the far end. We've had a wonderful day today.
The best of the days.
Yes.
The last day. He leave the best for last.
That's right. It's one of those stories in the Bible that just comes to mind. Delivery pushed back along the track, and there's no... Ali, do you know what that story is? I know I put you in a bit of a challenge there.
No, but you didn't say it, so I didn't know.
Jesus, of course, turning the water into wine. And then they said, hey, you've left the best wine for last. Here, once more is Baines in and bowls to Binns. Binns is tucked up in defence. Well bowled by Baines. Right on target. The batsman can do no more than push it back along the turf for the bowler to pick up on his follow through. So he'd want to make a good comeback here, Baines, to make up for some pretty ordinary bowling. First up, comes in now and bowls, and Bin gets one outside the off stump, confirmed a wide by the umpire. So you'll have to go back, and go all over. Well, he did bowl wicket to wicket, and they produced dot balls, but that one was wide outside the off stump. The idea is to keep it as tight as possible. Wicket to wicket is safe. It's in again and bowls, and that ball is driven up to mid-off and would get a single. So one more to the total, which has now gone on to 32. Binns goes on to 12, brings Savio Jones into strike, who's on 13. 32 without loss. Baines again to bowl to Jones outside the off stump, cuts down to third man, will get a single. One more to the total, one more to Jones's total, it's gone to 14. Binns, who is 12. Binns is 12 of 18 deliveries, and Jones 14 of 12. As once more is Baines, Dexter Baines, moving in to bowl to Binns. Binns is coming forward, pushes the ball up to short mid-on, prevents the batsman from going for a single. Good control stuff here by Baines. He's on target. This is the last delivery coming up. You want to make sure that he doesn't spoil his economy. He's in now and bowls, and right up in the block hole. That was a good delivery. They'll get a single though, as it was pushed. Try to be just dug out. The ball goes behind him down to short fine leg, and the batsman had time to cross for one. So one more to the total. That's Binns, has gone to 13, and Jamaica going after a victory target of 97 to 34 without loss.
Yeah, good over, particularly the previous over from that end, which Vanna seems to be all over the place. He came back there and pitched the ball on a good line and good length, forcing the Jamaicans on the defense, and obviously they will want to continue as we see spin being introduced.
Yes, so that'll be Elron Glasgow. Is it? So, well, let's just wait and see what they've decided to do.
Is this an official water break? Or
No. Well, let's say one of the players requested maybe one of the paraphernalia, so they've come out, aided by two other players. So it's going to be Alexander, is it? Who will move in to bowl to Binns, who's 13.
batted pretty well.
Yes, he did. Had a good game. Well, let's see whether I can do something special with bat now, with the ball now.
Yeah, it takes his momentum into his bowling.
Yes. So Alexander is in, bowls to Binns, comes forward, wrapped him on the pad. There was a people like before, not given out. That was given generous flight.
Yeah.
Brave delivery, that. He's got to be careful with the field placing though, if he's going to flight it like that.
With the long on, with the mid on,
Yes.
long on, mid off rather than a long off.
Alexander is moving in, started, stop, go all the way back, dead ball signal by the umpire. Is in now to bowl to Binns. There he is, bowls. Binns leaves that alone outside the off stump. This is tantalizing stuff by the little leg spinner.
Why in a limited over game like that, just 16 overs, you're leaving the ball. You need to get back to ball.
Moves in again and bowls shorter off the back foot, hits the ball. Ball travels too quickly up to mid on for a single. So it's been 3 dot balls so far, bowled by Alexander. So it's a good start. Here he is again, bowls outside the arch stump, driven out to extra cover, will get a comfortable single, or whitish long off preferably. So one more to Binns' total. It's gone to 14. Jones, who is also 14, comes into strike. 35 without loss. Alexander is in again and bowls. To this delivery is off the back foot. That one just seemed to come in. Might have been a googly, do you think?
He has a type of delivery like an arm ball.
Yeah.
He sends it in with the follow through of putting the wrist to the back of the ball rather than on top.
Here's a delivery outside the off stump of the back foot and cuts down to backward point. It's going to yield two. They've gone for one. Will come back for the second. The return comes into the keeper's end, and it's a good one right over the top of the stump, and they got one. So I think you might want to call that a tidy over. 3 runs coming off it, 37 without loss, and he's just restricted a little bit. The current run rate is 6.17. and the required run rate 6.67. They don't want the required run rate to get up to the 7 mark. That's what they don't want happen at all.
Well, it's bordering that. Just another 1 or 2 good overs. So they need, for their own good, they will need to continue striking the ball. They need to rotate the strike and hope to pick up the odd boundary here and there, pushing it around. Yes, but at some point in time you will have to explore.
Yes, got to be careful not to be getting 2 and 3 runs out and over. That's not going to help the purpose. So Theo Edwards bowls a full toss that is tugged down to long off. I think that the batsman would be a little bit disappointed with that. Should have made a better use of that. Binns. Jones comes in to strike. Binns has gone to 15. Jones is 16 as Edward would move in now to bowl to Jones. He's there now and bowls, and Jones is coming forward, turns it just behind square on the leg side. Now they've gone for 1. They're going to come back for the second. The return comes in to the non-striker's end, and that's good running. They get 2. Well done. 2 more, therefore, to Jones, who is now pushed on to 18. A platform has been built solid here for Jamaica to now begin to put the bricks on and build better and better, as he's going to move in Edward to bowl to Jones, and Jones is hitting that. That's going to go where? Over the mid-wicket area. How far? 4. A couple of bounces over the boundary line. That was a good hit, an important hit too. So Jones has gone to 22. 44 without loss. This is a good stand and a good run chase here. Edward in now to bowl to Jones. Not made any adjustments to the field. Have they? No.
Well, they said they don't really set the field for bad bowling. It was 1 on the pads, and he just walked it away over the mid wicket. Good shot. They are now making some adjustment. They are putting deep backward square and square leg.
Yes, and the forward square, deep forward square is right back, and then there is a fine leg inside the circle. Oh, and that is swept down to the fine leg area. I thought they should have attempted 2 there. Let's see what the umpire would signal. Oh, he signaled wide. So it means that it didn't touch anybody at all, and it was outside the leg stump. 46 without loss. Run rate just over 7 as Edward is in and bowl outside the off stump and hits the ball down to backward point. I think he'll be disappointed with that. If he had pierced that field, it could have been 2 for him. Total remains on 46 without loss.
Surely they are sending a message out to him.
Delivery, that expansive drive there by Binns didn't make contact, and the total remains on 46 without loss. Yes, a message is going to go out, I suspect, to the Jamaican batsmen. 2 bottles of water in the hand of the substitute fieldsman. Here is a delivery that is outside the off stump, pushes up to cover, and they get 1. So 1 more to the total as the over comes to an end, and at the end of it, Jamaica under 15, 47 without loss. Binns is 16, Jones is 22, and this is a very good partnership. They need exactly 50 to win and they must get there in 8 overs.
Yeah, they are batting well. I think they are small guys, and they are not taking any risks. I think now you need to take some risks. They are playing correct shots along the ground, picking up the singles, and so I think they really probably need to just lift the tempo a bit. And I am certain that water break that they had was a bit of information advising them what to do, and it could only be to try to score a bit faster.
Yeah, my father would call that trick and trade. Well, it's about doing what you've got to do. 47 without loss. Binns will be facing up to Alexander. He's there now and bowls one that bowled him. Yes, bowled him. Oh, he was looking to play across that one onto the back foot. Should have been on the front foot and played all over it. He probably says it kept. Yeah, he's saying it kept a little low, but he must be chided also for being onto the back foot. Let's look at this delivery. It hit the pad. Didn't it hit the pad?
It was a bad ball.
Yes.
I tried to lift it over. I agree with him. He did keep a bit low, and it was probably going down here. Surely would have missed the leg stump, but he took the pad and went on to the stumps. A good breakthrough, a good little inning from him. They had set a platform. They are not big guys, and if you could get somebody with a bit of power hitting, no, I think it will really help the Jamaicans there. Still in the balance. The game's still in the balance. So anybody, or a couple more wickets, a couple boundaries will tilt the game in someone's favor.
Yes. So the new batsman is
Nelson.
Padre Nelson, the keeper. He would need to go and take up from where Binns left off, and Alexander will want to maybe do something special here for the Windward Islands. I think this game right now is even Steven, just from the context of the run rate. Or maybe you want to see Jamaica has nosed ahead a little. Here's a delivery that is pushed up on the offside for a single. So one run is off the mark is Nelson. And the total has gone by 1 out to 48 for 1. Brings Jones, who is 22, into strike. For number 8 in progress. Here once more. Outside the off stump, off the back foot. I think he should have really hit that hard. It was out there.
Just short.
Yes. Go after
that's
it.
the shot he had to play.
That's right.
Yeah, needed
Cut
to
the
hit
ball
it.
hard.
You need to adjust that mindset based on the situation of the game.
He treated it like a domestic pet. Here's a delivery faster. Pushed up on the onside. Well bowled there by Alexander. Put in a bit of variation in his bowling. He has been tidy so far into his second over. 1 for 4. Moves in now to bowl to Savio Jones. Jones is getting one that is down the leg side that heaves down to backward square for 4. Bad delivery. We just talked about how well he was bowling, and that one was short down the leg side and lifted it on its way. 4 runs. He is now pushed on to 26, and the total has gone out to 52 for 1.
Yeah, good shot. I said he has been bowling well. This one was a bit short, and batsman taking full advantage.
Here's Alexander again. Move into bowl to Jones. Lot would depend upon Jones here. To this delivery, he is coming forward and pushing it back along the turf for the bowler to pick up on his follow through. So that completes the over. Some 8 overs gone, and after 8, Jamaica 52 for 1, and the response is good.
Yeah, I think a pretty balanced game at this stage. Seems that we are heading for some sort of excitement. We always thought that 90 in the 90s should be a very competitive game, and the team batting to get to that will have to bat well. Jamaica so far have been doing okay, but the Windward, keeping it tight. But Pastor probably the terminology, even Stevens. Was it you that created that?
No, not me. It was here before me. It was there before me, long before me too. So, it's going to be Jordan Charles who would come in, and he's going to be bowling to Nelson. Nelson is on 1. Let's see, he's there now and bowls. No, he doesn't bowl. This is an interesting game developing here. From the far end is Jordan Charles moving in to bowl to Nelson. Nelson is off the back foot and cuts the ball down to a cover position and gets a single. Comfortable one too. He's now gone on to 2. The total is pushed on to 53 for 1. Brings Jones into strike. Here is a delivery that is down the leg side wide, signaled by the umpire. Ill-directed delivery. Again is Charles to Jones. Jones is hitting that straight. Good shot. It's going to yield them 2 runs. I think they're coming back for the second one as the return comes in. I think from the moment he hit the ball, Jones, that straight with between that mid-on and mid-off fielder over the bowler's head, he knew that there were going to be 2. Attacked the first run very quickly and came back for the second run. Charles in and bowls outside the arm stump, cuts down to the sweeper position. Now they're gone for 1. They're going to come back for the second. The return comes in to the keeper's end, and there's no big trouble there. They get 2. So 2 more. They're making this look rather easy here, Jamaica. 30 now to Jones. 58 for 1. Here is Charles moving in to bowl to Jones again. And to this delivery, he is looking to sweep. Oh, this is going to go down to the fine leg area. They're going to get 2 more. The return comes in. 2 more runs. But signal wide, even to rub injury, pepper into injury, if you want to put it this way. So the ball has to be rebowled. Current run rate 7. And that's high. We've not seen much of that during the tournament. Here's a delivery that is given generous flight, comes forward, pushes it out on the offside, and they get a single. So it's all coming easy. Rather simple task here now, it looks, Jamaica. 62 for 1. Just a 1/1 delivery remaining in this over. Bowled by Charles. He's yielded 10 runs so far. Here's a delivery. He's down the track, and is he bowled or stumped? Well, I think he stumped. Down the track, saw a ball that was pitched up and was coming down the track looking to drive, and so he goes. I think he has played his role very well. So Nelson there, stumped by the keeper Daniel of the bowling of Charles. He's gone for 2, and Jamaica 62 for 2.
Oh yeah, he yorked himself. He got down the wicket and didn't get the ball on the full, and it went through him and could be the stumping by the keeper. A good break through by the Windward. Jamaica just seemed to be pulling ahead. They are 62 for 2. They just need 35 more runs. At an average of just 6 runs and over. Gettable. So, as we predicted very early, this game could be a very interesting one.
Nicole Mackenzie facing up to Charles. So, just rather meticulous about his bowling. His field position rather. Moves in, bowls off the back foot to a short delivery, tugged down to mid-wicket. They will come back for the second. No, they decide against it. So the over finally coming to an end. Expensive over, but productive one from the context that he got Nelson for 2 and Jamaica after 9 overs. There's 6 remaining. There's 63 for 2.
Yeah. 11 runs coming in that over. A bit expensive in the situation of the game, but it's a spinner. He's flighting, probably looking to get the wickets, not defending. But the batsman capitalizing on some loose deliveries. And Jamaica, I think, really keeping themselves in the game. They have just need to score now at 6.07. 6 runs. I think they'll figure they in with that chance if they last over. They need 5 or 6 runs.
Yes. So Alexander, who's picked up 1 for 8 of 2, moves in to bowl to Mackenzie. Mackenzie is I have to see what the umpire would say. Yes, just managed to squeeze the ball out on the offside, down to short third man, and got a single. So 1 to Mackenzie, who's now gone to 2. Jones, who has been there for the past 40 minutes. 31 runs, of 23 balls. Faces Alexander, and he turns it up on the onside behind square. Will get a single. They've got to hurry. The return comes in. There's an appeal for run out. The umpire says no, you got there on time.
Good sharp single by the batters.
So the first 2 deliveries have yielded 2 runs, 32 to Jones. Mackenzie's on 2. Alexander into his third over, 1 for 10. Would move in to bowl to Mackenzie, the left-handed Mackenzie. He is there now and bowls. A delivery that is pushed up to cover. Gets a comfortable single. So they got to be careful here too, the Windward Islands. If they have the field too spread, then all the Jamaican batsmen have to do is just play the ball with soft hands.
Yeah, and that is 6 runs over, which is what they need.
Yes. Here is a delivery in now. And bowls to Jones. That's Alexander pushed up on the offside. They go through for a quick signal. They've got to hurry. The return comes in. There's an appeal for run out. Not out, said the umpire. I think a greater effort could have been made there. And the fielder coming in from backward point. Bails are scattered. No harm done. The Jamaicans playing rather aggressive in terms of the running between the wickets. Mackenzie's 3. Jones 33. 66 for 2. We're in the 10th over. And the current run rate 6.93. As Alexander is in to bowl to Mackenzie, who is off the back foot and hits the ball out to mid-wicket. Can't score. Dot ball. So they've got a lot of spaces to score. Don't necessarily like the field, I must admit.
5 boundary riders.
Yeah. Here's a delivery that is pitched up, driven out to the long on boundary, and the batsman would cross for 1. So 1 more to the total as the over comes to an end. So Alexander, 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 13. And after some 10 overs, 5 remaining, Jamaica there 68 for 2.
Well, I can tell you, 2 or 3 boundaries now will really put Jamaica in a good position. I would have probably, with only 2 wickets down, the days when you call a pinch hitter, it doesn't seem to exist anymore, but somebody coming in there with a long handle could put Jamaica in a good position because they got wickets in hand.
That's true. So it's going to be...
Now the batsmen are batting well, but just stay into the basics.
Charles bowling outside the off stump, looking to drive. That's Mackenzie. Doesn't make contact. Dot delivery. Dot ball. 4 to Mackenzie, 68 for 2. He's in and bowls. That one is down the leg side and wide, signaled by the umpire. He's got to bowl that one over. Mackenzie facing up once more to Charles. And Mackenzie is hitting that to the mid-wicket area, and the catch is taken. No, that was a good catch. It was hit firmly and to the right of the fielder, who sort of dived across to his right and took the catch. So Mackenzie goes, cut there at mid-wicket. He's gone for 4, and Jamaica has lost another wicket. It's 69 for 3.
Yeah, good wicket. Again, once taken wickets, it show that the as we see the replay. Yeah,
good catch.
Beautiful diving.
Really good catch.
And he was struck with a bit of power.
So, another wicket fallen. Silvera will now come out.
Since as Jamaica, big players are only their bowlers.
Theo Edwards taking the catch was a good catch, wasn't it?
I think Windwards is a little bit not defensive, but I think there are too many. They could put a little bit more pressure because Jamaica are not really hitting boundaries. They are more pushing the ball and taking the ones and the twos. And I think probably they could just bring in a player or two and force them to try to hit boundaries.
And that's where the error may come. But if the field is rather spread, then you know it's easy to pick up singles.
And as you can see, plenty gaps. Look at the front from sort of backward point to straightish mid on.
Yes.
Big gap there.
And this is the new batter.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Just playing it in the gap for a singer.
Yeah, I would attack a little more than that. It's just too defensive. Makes it too easy for the batsman. And those are things that your captain have to pick up, and if he doesn't pick it up, then your coach would have to say, hey, you've got to make this change. And here is a delivery that hold him. Oh, he's gone. Jones has gone for 33. He played all around that ball. It was a simple delivery, really. And I don't know, his head was lifted. And I've seen him face even tougher deliveries than that. But he played it. We're going to get the replay to see exactly where he went wrong. But this is a big fish. It's a big scalp going there. Jones for 33. Let's look at it. Generous flight. Oh,
he didn't play straight.
He played across the line.
He stood up and just played across and missed. Had he played straight, and he was playing straight.
Yes.
He decided to tug that one through mid wicket and missed. It took his eye off it too. He was looking in the air and it went through. It might have passed him on the full and knocked his middle stump.
And that's how important also, Ali, as a spin bowler, to let the batsman look up.
Look up, yeah. A lot of times they look up and does not look back down.
Right.
So they lose sight of the ball.
That's right. So Giovanni Gray has come out, and this has put a little bit of a different perspective on things, as the two batsmen are relatively new to the crease, and Charles has now picked up 3 for 13.
I think Windies Island is really back in the game. Those 2 wickets sort of even up things again.
Yes. Why not even more pressure? Really?
Got new batsmen in.
Yes. Here is Charles to Gray. He is coming forward, driving the ball. Oh, that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Just behind square on the offside. Fielder came in, might have taken his eyes off the ball. The return was belated by this time. Silveria had gotten home.
He was sleeping. It took really long to get up there.
Oof. Here is once more Charles to bowl to Silveria outside the off stump. Hits the ball down to long off, and the throw came into the keeper's end. They get 1 more to the total. It's gone to 72 now for 4. Brings Silveria, in fact the over has come to an end. So 11 overs gone, and Jamaica now 72 for 4. They need to score at 6.25 to get there. I think this is balancing.
Yeah, but I think they need boundaries, and I'm not seeing that intent yet. Of course, it's two new batters in, but I'm not seeing that intent and hitting boundaries. It's probably they're calculating it different from me. It seems more concerned on taking the singles and not too sure what score they would bring it at before launching an attack, because just 4 overs left, and they need to score at 6 runs and over.
So here is Charles. We're moving into ball to Silveria. He is now on balls to this delivery. He is off the back foot, hits the ball up to cover, and a dot ball.
Well, I don't think he had no intention of scoring with that shot. He just got back and tapped it away. The fielders
Edward to Silveria. He's there and bowls and tugs it around to mid-wicket. They get a single. So he is now gone on to 3. Giovanni Gray, who is 1, comes in to strike. Total has gone to 73 for 4. So the required run rate, 6.55.
I think that's where the Windwards was a bit different. At this stage, the batsman coming was hitting boundaries.
Edward to Gray, who is reaching forward and drives the ball neatly up to long on, gets a comfortable single. So 1 more to the total. It's now gone on to 74. Brings Silveria back into strike. Outside the off stump. Lives that one down over the boundary line. Oh, that's 4. Came forward and drove that, and you can see the fielder really traveling across the boundary line, trying desperately to cut it off. Couldn't cut it off, and the ball went to the boundary for 4.
That's what I was expecting to see. Good counter attack, literally, because he has been fairly defensive.
Yes. It's Edwards again to Silveria, who is coming forward, back past the bowler, outstretched hands, couldn't turn it into a catch, but they got a single. So Silveria gone on to 8, 79 for 4. Gray, who is 2, comes in to strike as Edwards is in now and bowls to Gray. Gray's driving, gets the ball out to extra cover, would get a single, widest long off rather. So 1 more to the total. Over comes to an end. So how many overs gone? We got 12 overs gone, 3 remaining, and to win they need 17 of 3 gettable.
Yeah, Jamaica probably, particularly with wickets in hand, they just got lost 4 wickets. They could sacrifice to try to get a boundary or 2 now in the over would really put them in a very, very strong position. They're still in 1 because they just need that 5 runs over. I think coming into probably the last over needed 4 or 5 runs. They feel very confident about doing it. So they're on track. I think Windward will now has to. I think Windward, we spoke about it, probably they need to put a little more pressure on the Jamaican batsmen. The singles are too easily had.
Yes, agreed. So Charles moves in. Yes, just say to them, go over the top. He's going to move in now to bowl to Gray. Yeah, but you look at the field, you should maybe have somebody shot in.
Trying to find out how many bowlers did that bowler bowl.
So the umpire just trying to confirm the amount of overs that Charles has bowled. He's bowled 2. He's going into his 3rd now. 80 for 4. Here is a delivery that is stroke out on the offside. They go through for a single. They get it comfortably. 1 more to the total. It's gone to 81. 81 for 4 brings Gray now into strike. And the Windwards just, they are in fact on the field as if they've conceded victory. Delivery that is looking to pull, doesn't make contact. Dot ball. 16 more to go. Here he is once more from the far end. Is Charles in, bowls to Silvaria, who comes forward, drives neatly through the offside. They've gone for one. They will come back for the second. The return comes into the non-keeper's end, the bowler's end, and the batsmen have time to cross for two. So two more to Silvarius takes him now into double figures, and the total has gone to 83 now for four. 14 needed. Here is a delivery that is hit down to the deep long on area, and just a one this time. So takes his total. Silveria is now gone on to 11. Giovanni Gray comes in to strike.
Gray, really, yeah, unless you think he can handle the bowling, because they could have taken 2 runs.
Yes,
there.
I thought so. Yeah, outside the off stump, ball maybe peels off the outer edge. Let's see if the umpire would signal to that. Bye, in fact. So he didn't get a nick onto that one. So 11 to Silvaria. Grace 4, 85 for 4. 12 needed. Delivery down, pushed down to backward point. So the over comes to an end. So 12 needed of 12 deliveries.
I think
the batting side should win this.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, but this is cricket.
Yes.
Yeah, the batting side is in a better position to win, particularly the fact that they have wickets in hand. Somebody can sacrifice from the first delivery to try to hit a boundary ball, and you will be on the way.
Maybe the better thing to do is a sort of semi-attacking field. Yeah. Saving the singles is so important that
I think too many men on the boundary.
Yes,
they're too far. Give the batsman easy opportunity to score.
Charles in, bowls, driven up to wideish mid-off. They're gone for one. We'll come back for the second. The return comes in to the bowler's end. They get 2. Well struck there by Giovanni Gray, who's gone to 6. 10 needed from 11 deliveries. 6 wickets intact. Edward to bowl to Gray. Gray's driving. In the air. Would the catch be taken?
Wow!
Oh! Over the boundary line.
Hands.
Well, he got there. He could have taken the catch. And he sort of, almost boxed it out. And it went down for 4. I would love to see the replay on that one. He was well inside, so he didn't have to think about whether he'll be off balance. Ooh. Well, here is a delivery that is bowled him. Looking to push off the back foot. That one went on with the arm. And so, almost like an anti-climax. So Gray is gone. Bowled by Edwards for 10. Maybe a little bit too late. And with 6 more to go. How many deliveries remaining? 9 deliveries to get 6 runs. Don't see why Jamaica would not get this.
Well, the incoming batsman will have a very important role to play, because he will have to get going from the word go, and he's one of the heavy set youngsters, so the quick singers might not be in it. It's strange that runs that a player that probably is not a quick runner between the wicket. Put somebody there that will really push and run.
Well. So 6 needed of 9 deliveries.
You know, the thing about this game, Pastor, is that Windward didn't really bowl bad, and Jamaica didn't go all out hitting, and they just sort of keep themselves in the game, and is in a very good position now.
See Edward moving to bowl to DeMarco Scott, just taking his guard, and they're pressuring him.
Yeah, that is what they should have been doing, I think.
That's correct, and they're probably 2 overs too late. Here he is now, bowled to Scott. Scott is hitting that just around the corner, and they get a single. So he has gone immediately off the mark. It's gone to 1.
Not a good ball.
No.
First ball to a batsman, like, you know, where it's difficulty. He had difficulty taking that quick single. It was straying down the leg side and was able to pick up the single.
92 for 5. 5 to win.
7 deliveries.
7 deliveries to get there. The long off, the mid on and mid off is push back. Here is a delivery that is swung down to the wideish mid on. They're coming back for the second run. They decide against it. And they will now go for the second run.
No.
Yeah, everything is gone all over the place.
And that's a vital run. It really
It
and
is.
truly, in the context of the game, it came off the bowler's shin.
Yes.
And
Edward was limping all over the place, wincing in pain. So, 3 to win, 7 deliveries to get 3. Here's a delivery that is pushed down to the long off area. The catch is taken, and so there goes Salvaria, and there's no big set of celebration there at all. So he was looking to hit that straight. Silvaria and Leon Alexander just went across and took a simple catch, and so Edwards has picked up what should be his second wicket.
well,
Over comes to an end.
you try to wonder what he was trying to do. 3 runs to win, you inform in there, just take the run. You'll have 2 more runs now to face in 6 deliveries. And he just simply give his wicket away.
Right, so 3 to win. This is the final over coming up. And Demaria Hall comes out to join DeMarco Scott. And, well, I mean, it should still be in Jamaica's favor.
Yeah, but again, you have 2 batsmen there that are not too sure could take very sharp singles, and Windward will just need to put some pressure on them, keep the ball on the stumps, get them to play in front of there. And the new batsman is the one that taking this. So they cross. They did cross while the ball was in the air, so the new batsman would face the last over. 3 runs to win. One thought that
Here's the delivery down the left side, wide, and they will go for a single, so they get 2 here. So just 1 run to win, 1 run to win. Bad delivery, and Jamaica will triumph in this final match of the tournament as Thoreau bowling that final over.
still has 5 deliveries
Yes,
to get just 1 run.
there he is now, in and bowls, and push back along the track for the bowler to pick up on his follow through.
Well, he has a lot of confidence in himself.
1 of 4.
That was an amazing shot. Whether he's aware of what is going on, we'll have to wait to see. But I would not be playing forward there.
Here he is now moving in and bowls to Scott. Scott is having a pull at that one, gets it up to mid-on.
Oh,
And they get a single.
and a misfield.
So Jamaica, they've won this by 4 wickets, as they have gotten to that victory target of 97. The Windward Islands scored 96. They got to 97 for 6. And they have won this final match in the CWI Under 15 Rising Stars Super 50 Championship. Well, that's what it turned out to be, but it turned out to be, of course, much more limited overs match than that. And 97 for 6. And the players go on to the field and congratulate and do the necessary formal details when a match comes to an end. So we just want to quickly go through the scorecard here. Jamaica's innings in Bins was bowled by Alexander for 16, 29 balls, 30 minutes at the crease, 1-4. Savio Jones, good innings, 33 of 26 balls, 46 minutes at the crease, 4-4s before he was bowled by Charles. Nelson was stumped Daniel of the bowling of Charles for 2. Mackenzie caught Edwards, bowled Charles for 4. Adrian Silvaria was caught Alexander, bowled Edwards for 13. Giovanni Gray was bowled by Edwards for 10. Scott was not out, 2. Hall not out, no score. Extra 17, 1 by 14 wides, 2 no balls, and that brought up the extras to 17. 97 for 6 of 14.2 overs. Venner had none for 19 of 2. Glasgow, none for 11 of 2. Baines, none for 4 of 1. Leon Alexander, 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 13. Edwards had 2 for 27 of 3, rather expensive. Jordan Charles, 3 for 19 of 3. And Darrow, who bowled just 2 deliveries for 3 runs. So Jamaica, they've won this game by 6 wickets, and it's nice to know that they have at least won a game in the tournament. The Windwards did not win any at all. Ali.
Well, I think unfortunate for the. Of course, somebody will lose, but I think Windward have good enough players in this tournament to have won a match. I think that the extras and was what cost them daily in most of the games. Good batting, good bowlers, and of course the tournament is for the young rising players, so it's a learning process. I think I've seen a lot of good talent in this competition, in all areas of the field, the bowlers, the spinners, the batsmen, the pacers swinging the ball. So I think you see good future with the talent that was on show in this competition.
Yes, great talent indeed, and we really were very happy to have brought you all the matches, well, practically all the matches played here in the tournament. We had quite a bit of rain that marred the matches that were to be played at the other venue, but I thought that the authorities, the organizers, did very well in making the necessary adjustments. So though the matches had to be abbreviated, I think by and large they got in as much cricket that they could in the circumstances. So we're really very happy, and those of us who have been here in Ali developed, who have worked very hard, and all our technical personalities and our scorers, it was an absolute pleasure to bring you the broadcast. And here brings the curtain down on the CWI Under 15 Rising Stars Super 50 Championship held here in Grenada. And the Barbadians have really come out on top. And in this final match, Jamaica coming out on top against the Windward Islands. So long until another competition comes up this part of the world, and we'll be always happy to bring you the broadcast. See you then.